Hey everyone, it's Dylan with CT Aquatics, and today we're talking about the Osmolator 3 water level controller from Tunze. In today's video, I'm going to unbox this auto top off, set it up, and review this product as I have been using one of these on one of our tanks for the past few months. Hope you enjoy the video. So to start off, this is the box that the auto top off system comes in. As you can see, it is the new Osmolator 3 from Tunze. This is the upgraded version of their original Osmolator, which has been around for, I don't know, probably 20 years and was pretty much the industry standard for auto top offs during that entire time. This was the long awaited upgrade to that system. I have the other Osmolator system on almost every tank that I have set up, but recently within the past year, I set up one of these on our new frag system, and it has been working absolutely amazing. It works just as good, if not better, as the old original Osmolator. With that being said, let's move into the unboxing, the setup, and the review. So first, I'm just going to cut open the tape on the box. Now I'm going to flip the box over and open it up. Inside, you're going to find Tunze Osmolator 3 operating manual, the test certificate showing that the device was tested and works properly. Underneath that, you'll find your RO tubing. This is going to be for getting the RO water from your auto top off reservoir into the tank. You'll find your warning packet. Then under the first layer of cardboard, you will find your auto top off sensor, auto top off pump, and an additional box. This contains your power supply and your wall adapter. This one was made for America, but depending on your location, it will come with a different adapter so that you can use it wherever you live. And all that's left to do is to continue pulling out the piece of cardboard and to get the pump and sensor out of the box. Now, I just popped off the cover to the sensor so you can see what the actual sensor looks like. But this just pops right on and off. Like that, very simple. And I think there's a magnet in the back holding it on. So once we separate the magnets, the sensor will come right off. And here's the magnet. So again, here's your pump. Here's your sensor. And all of your cabling. Now we will set this up. To set up this auto top off is relatively straightforward. Everything is going to be attached to your sensor cable. If you look, it has two ends on it. One that will attach to the pump. You can see the end of the pump here. And the other, which will attach to your power supply. The sensor will then go into your tank to determine the water level. The water level will sit just about halfway up the sensor. When the water in your tank falls below that level, it will signal the sensor to turn the pump on. To attach the sensor to your tank, you simply use the provided magnet on the outside of the tank with the sensor inside of the tank. Next, you will take the auto top off pump and your coil of RO tubing, and you will attach the free end of the tubing to your pump, simply by inserting it. The other end of the tubing that has the clamp on it can now be clamped onto your tank. The pump can then be placed in your reverse osmosis reservoir. At this point, it should be safe to attach your pump to your sensor. Line them up, push them in, and screw the middle blue connector together. This will keep the connection watertight. The final step for using your reverse osmosis system is simply to attach your power supply and plug the power supply into the wall. At this point, you can just sit back and watch the magic happen. This is underneath the frag system that I just built last year. The auto top off reservoir is just a 10-gallon tank that I fill up with reverse osmosis water whenever it gets empty, about once a week. As you can see, I have an Osmolator 3 pump sitting in the reservoir. This pump will then pump water into our sump over here, right above the sensor that you can see. As of right now, the water level is above the sensor. That's just because the tank is turned off in order to keep everything quiet for filming. If the tanks were running, you would see that the water level is sitting right in the middle of the sensor. Now that the tank is running, you should be able to see that the water level sits right in the middle of the sensor. So at this point, we've unboxed the Osmolator 3, I've showed you how to set it up, and showed it to you working on a tank. But is it any good? Personally, I think the Osmolator 3 is one of the best, if not the best auto top-offs on the market today. Tunze is well known for being the industry standard in auto top-offs, and this newer version is not an exception to that. I've personally not had any issues with this overfilling the tank or not turning on and underfilling the tank. It seems to always work. Now, I only have one currently running on this tank, and it has been running on the tank for over 6 months. In that time, there has not been a single issue, going to prove its reliability. In the past, I have used other auto top-offs, including the original one from Tunze, which, although that is a great product, there were times where the sensor got some dried salt on it or something happened which prevented the top-off from turning on. My tank never got overfilled, which is a good thing, but there were times where the auto top-off left the tank running a little bit dry. Some other examples of auto top-offs that I've used are the Red Sea auto top-off. This is a newer auto top-off, and although it does work relatively well, on that one I found that the sensors, being made of metal, will corrode over time, which can cause the pump to either run for way too long or not turn on at all. The sensors are replaceable, but being that you have to replace the sensors on a regular basis because they are metal in contact with salt water, I would not recommend that product, as I've had all of mine fail on multiple occasions due to the sensor. With that being said, the Tunze Osmolator 3 is definitely my most recommended auto top-off system, but any of the auto top-offs from Tunze are definitely recommended. I would also like to mention that we are not sponsored by anybody, so all of these opinions in this video are that of myself. So that's the video today. Hope you enjoyed what you saw, and remember, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications to join us on our journey through the sea, or drop a comment below and let us know what you thought of the video. Thanks for watching.